Humility is one of the hardest things to learn as a former athlete, not humility in life necessarily, but around fitness specifically, because this is the one area where they feel like they've paid their dues. Like they put in the work, they've probably done, 20 hours a week of training and they don't need someone telling them how to squat or like what it means to actually like push harder during a lift or anything like that. And honestly, most of their friends that were around them or family members think like they're like, oh, like why can't you figure it out? You did this your entire life. And so admitting that they don't have it all figured out feels different than admitting they need help in like any other area of life. But real humility isn't thinking like less of yourself. It's being honest about where you are now versus kind of where you want to be and willing to close that gap however it actually needs to be closed. And the most decorated athletes in the world never stopped being coached or asking for support, not because they lacked like the knowledge or work ethic, but because they understood that outside perspective, accountability, and structure, like they're not crutches, and that's like the whole point is actually figuring it out in a way that you can actually get to where you want to be a little bit sooner. And the former athletes who are struggling aren't struggling because they lost their edge. They're struggling because the system they used to rely on is literally like gone. You finish the last game or last competition and you're no longer a part of that team. And humility is what will allow them to rebuild that in a way that fits their life now. So that's the first shift that has to happen to actually be able to improve your fitness as a former college athlete. Now, I have calls with former athletes all the time, and there's the ones that are thinking, okay, for example, now it's March and they want to learn how to lose some weight, feel better, whatever the goal is. I'm like, cool. Like we can get there by June. That's 3 months from now. And, they may have been stuck at that place for 2 to 3 years. You get through and they're kind of like, oh, like, if I really dial in, I really try to figure it out, like maybe I could. And it's like, well, you spent 2 or 3 years already kind of trying to figure it out on your own. And that just tells me like, you don't necessarily have the humility to be like, yeah, I need help with this. I actually want to figure it out for once and for all and know you actually have a solution that works versus just like spinning your wheels. So if you actually want change, you want to feel better, like what the problem is and you've been working on it for a while, like get help with it.